At 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Bridget Piorlo.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Something we feel guilty sharing with you tonight. Your electric bill is about to go up again. That's because today state regulators approved a rate hike that will go into effect starting next month.
It's all to make up for costs, they say, that were put on hold during the pandemic and the months following. But now customers are footing even more of the bill.
Fox 61's Jake Garcia joins us in studio to break down what's behind the latest hike and why. It feels like we can't catch a break, Jake.
I know, it seems every time you turn around, Bridget and Sarah, it's another rate increase, and that's how it feels for many customers here around the state that are dealing with the sting of last month's rate hike, and today's decision will add even more pressure to customers' bank accounts. But how much you pay will actually depend on how much you use.
Chairman Gillette.
Yes, the decisions have been adopted.
In a virtual meeting without discussion, state regulators with the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority, or PURA, unanimously approved another rate hike for both Eversource and United Illuminating customers.
It's just another punch in the gut. It shows how much of a disconnect that our lawmakers have with the citizens of Connecticut.
Starting next month, customers will see an additional charge under the public benefits portion of their bill. Eversource estimates through April, customers who use an average of 700 kilowatt hours a month can expect an additional $3 a month tacked onto their bill. United Illuminating says customers can expect minimal impact to their bill. It comes at a time when customers are already fed up with high energy costs, as recent bills have skyrocketed to cover the $800 million bill for state-mandated programs that utilities were not allowed to charge customers for during the pandemic and several months after.
And it's like me going into a restaurant, eating a really great 7-course meal, and then leave without paying and have all the other patrons of the restaurant pay for my meal. It's just, I don't know. I'm dumbfounded.
Wednesday's decision will recover an additional $80 million for the state's electric vehicle incentive program and infrastructure, as the state hopes to get more drivers to go green. But right now, people are seeing red, with a petition quickly getting over 36,000 signatures so far, calling on Governor Lamont and state leaders to eliminate the public benefits portion of the bill.
And it's just frustrating, and I think people are at the brink. I really do. I think people are at the brink. They're fed up and had enough.
And state Republicans and the moderate caucus in the General Assembly is calling on the governor to convene a special session to address electric bills. The Connecticut Office of Consumer Counsel, however, just filed the motion asking regulators to reconsider their decision and put policy in place to prevent such rate shock from happening again. Reporting in studio, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Jake, thank you for getting those answers. It was another hot and humid Wednesday, and we're doing it all over again tomorrow.
I know, after just talking about electricity rates, and I'm sure your AC's been running all day. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank for a first look at the forecast. Rachel.
Yeah, and that humidity not going anywhere anytime soon. Heading through the day tomorrow, once again, we're looking at highs in the 80s across the state. And there was an isolated shower or thunderstorm today. Tomorrow, there's a better chance of seeing one in the afternoon and early evening. Still, I do think they are hit or miss in nature. Some towns will get a couple downpours and rumbles of thunder, and others may stay mostly dry. Right now, we're looking at temperatures that are in the 60s to right around 70 degrees. And as we head through the overnight hours, we're looking at overnight lows that'll be right around 60. Still, I think in that comfy territory for summer standards, but not quite as cool as it has been the last few nights and following mornings. So we're looking at overnight lows that are near 60 degrees, low to mid 60s for the Connecticut shoreline. Heading into the day tomorrow, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds in the morning. Temperatures beginning in the 60s. Heading into lunchtime, we're looking at highs climbing into the low to mid 80s. And notice in the afternoon, there is that chance for a scattered shower or thunderstorm. That could continue through about 8 o'clock in the evening, and then we'll see some clearing as we head later on. We are dry, warm, and humid on Friday, but there is a chance for at least some rain over the weekend. We'll talk about when is best to make outdoor plans coming up.
All right. Thank you, Rachel. Tonight's the first night of a 35-year prison sentence for 20-year-old Janai Ward. He admitted to murdering 15-year-old Elijah Gomez in 2022. Today was an emotional day in court. Ward expressed remorse. The court heard from his mother and Elijah's mother.
I'm sad every day. I'm miserable every every day. Every day, I don't want to be here no more. So every time you feel like that, I feel like that too.
She went on to beg Ward to explain why he killed her son. Ward did not answer that question, but he had this to say.
Every day I can't believe that I've done. I hate this man on drugs and substance abuse. I really don't know what I was. I know I can't change what happened. I know there's I consider a lot of things, typically the pain. I'm just so sorry that I stole a person who loved me.
Prosecutors still don't know why he did it. Two men did not have a connection, and there wasn't a fit or there wasn't an argument or even words exchanged between the two. But what investigators do know is two people were with Ward that day. Prosecutors say those people were caught on camera running away after the shooting, and they have yet to be identified.
New at 10, a Norwalk police officer retired following an internal investigation. That investigation found Officer Hector Delgado violated multiple sections of the Norwalk Police Manual. Now, he was arrested twice this year. Back in June, he was accused of an off-duty disturbance. The officer also arrested for alleged stalking and harassment back in February of this year. Before that, he was accused of drinking and driving and then crashing in 2019. 3 Norwalk police officers, including Delgado, have been arrested this year.
An update now. The Office of Inspector General has just released their report for a use of force investigation in Bristol from last year. There were some initial doubts, but the Inspector General says Officer Seth Petzing was justified in shooting Jimmy Shoemaker Gonzalez. Shoemaker Gonzalez was shot after he stole a police cruiser on Davis Drive and then crashed into the Palma Diner. You're looking at dashcam video showing the moment he slammed into that restaurant. Shoemaker Gonzalez was injured but survived. You can read the full report at fox61.com.
More gun violence in the capital city, this time on Broad Street. Police say a man was shot around 10:30 this morning. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. No word on if any suspects were arrested. Anyone with any information should call Hartford Police. Officers in Clinton have identified the construction worker who fell off the roof of a home and died this week. They say his name is Angel Lima. He lived in Danbury and was a self-employed contractor. Police in OSHA are now investigating.
Waterbury has tapped last year's Teacher of the Year for a new role as an education liaison. The city's hoping this will improve trust in the school district. The new position will connect the mayor's administration and the school. Just last month, the school board voted to renew the superintendent's contract. But the mayor shut that down by vetoing and ousting Dr. Werner Ruffin. These are the reasons they provided. Well, first, the community as a whole brought forward several concerns about low test scores and a crisis in teacher morale. Some even said they had zero confidence in district leadership. Also, Dr. Ruffin's included in 2 separate federal investigations over alleged mistreatment of special education students. Robert Haxai will fill the new liaison role. He's a longtime beloved teacher there. The mayor says that he hopes the position will foster better communication and help create better district policy. The city has not named a new temporary or permanent superintendent just yet.
Tonight in Money Matters, it feels like we are paying more for everything lately, but next week you could pay a little less for some items you might have been holding off on.
Fox 61's Alexa Farrell has more on how you can save through sales tax-free week starting Sunday.
If it's been a while since you've been in your local boutique, looking through the racks, trying to find clothing, well, next week may be a good opportunity. Tax-free week starts here in Connecticut on August 18th and lasts through Sunday, the 24th.
There's a lot of fun stuff in the store.
Gotta Have It on Main Street in Glastonbury is a local shop. Jeans are their specialty, but they have everything from blouses to sweaters too.
Lots of stuff for back to school. You know, it's not just for, older women like me. It's for high school kids, college kids.
Whether shopping is for back to school or just a closet refresh, store associate Kathy Gallagher says there are plenty of options. Perfect for Connecticut's sales tax-free week.
Only carry 6 of each item. The idea would be you're not going to walk into somebody on the street wearing the same thing that you're wearing.
Financial advisor and expert Maggie Jandro says the small discount of no state sales tax can make a big difference for your wallet.
And the National Retail Federation states that this year they expect families with children in elementary school to high school to spend an average of $875 on back to school. So yes, not paying 6.35% on $875 is roughly $56 in savings. So it can certainly make a difference.
One way to save, Jandro says, is to focus on already discounted items.
Be sure to look for coupons and other sorts of ways to save on that initial price so you can find an item that is below that $100 limit.
And now is the time for big ticket buys.
Remember that the greater the cost of the item, the more impactful not paying taxes on it is going to be. So this could be a good time for you to purchase some of those more expensive items that have been on your wish list.
The tax-free discount doesn't just include in-store shopping. You can also shop online. In Glastonbury, Alexa Farrell, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.